Every once in a while, a company designs something that's extraordinary. On today's video, we're going to take a look at the TCL X11L. Hey everyone, Tech Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the TCL X11L. And I'm going to say right now, no matter what you read and all that good stuff, for me, I think it's one of the biggest, one of the brightest televisions, and pretty accurate overall of all the TVs I reviewed on this channel. Now, we know that there's a lot of people talking about certain things. I was reading the comments and people were talking about the motion on this television, but here's what I did. I have some footage I'll show you later on where I compared it against another TV, and it's not as bad as you think it is. Now, with that being said, let's talk about how this TV performs when it comes to movies. Now, first of all, some of the things you're going to expect when watching this television is that the contrast is very inky. And that's mainly because this TV is packed full of local demi-zones that controls the contrast on the television to make sure that you get a really black picture and at the same time bring out all the dynamic range that this TV has to offer. When I was filming this video, I did try some different picture profiles, and overall, I find that filmmaker's mode seems to be the most accurate because this TV, even though it gets a little darker on some of those settings, it appears to be more natural looking than some of the other TVs that I reviewed on this channel. Now, people want to compare this against OLED television, and that's a completely different technology. You do get the infinity black levels and you get the really good viewing angles, but you are limited to size for people who want larger televisions. And I'm not talking about the average consumers. I'm talking about people who have huge houses and they want to get the biggest TV they can get if they don't want to go a projector. And this TV does deliver everything you need when it comes to that. So I pulled up Amazon Prime, and one thing I noticed is that the black and white images is very accurate. And I'm not joking, guys, because I remember reviewing one of the 7 series years ago that had that red push to it. You had to calibrate it, and I made a video about all that to get that out. This TV, right out of the box, is ready to go, and in my opinion, I don't even think it needs calibration. Now let's tackle the motion real quick on this television, and this is using Invisible Man. And I do see a little bit of sputtering while it's in movie mode. Now I'm going to switch it over to filmmaker's mode, and it doesn't really clean up that much more than before. I want to test it against my Sony X95L that I still use, and believe it or not, it was getting around the same motion on this movie, and it's maybe because the way it was filmed. Now, even though this is not a higher end OLED, I just want to see how the motion was on this TV, and keep in mind I'm filming this on a cell phone and not the cameras that I use in the studio. And I haven't tested against other TVs using the UFO tester that you can see online and check out the motion, and maybe that's something I will consider in the future. But I did use a 24 frame per second stock ticker that I created that you can find on the Tech Steve testing channel. I did find it to be presentable, and most people won't hardly notice it in watching everyday content. So what I'm trying to say is, depends on what you watch it on, your internet speed. If you're using Blu-ray, that can make a difference if you're going to see any type of motion issues on this TV or any other TV on the market. One thing I will tell you about this television, it is the brightest TV that I've ever had in the studio. In fact, I had to turn my camera down just to film it. I'm here to tell you guys, I am not a professional calibrator. I have the equipment, but I don't necessarily have the knowledge. Now, TCL claims that this TV can do up to 10,000 nits, and according to AI, this is actually a true statement. But here's the thing, is at a 1% window. So what that means is that 1% of the screen was actually used with professional equipment to get the 10,000 nits. Now, most calibrators use 10% windows, and that's that little box you see on the screen when they're flashing colors through it. And I want to do some tests and see what I found out for myself. And keep in mind, I don't have the equipment that other people have, so some of these numbers may be off. So right now I have it in vivid mode, and you see the brightness is at 31%. And on the computer, we're getting a fluctuation from 1900 lumens up to 26. It all depends at 31%. Now I have the TV in filmmaker's mode, and the lumens is around 260. If we go to movie mode, we're getting around the same. Now to do this test, I'm gonna go into the settings, go into display, and keep it in movie mode. Under brightness, we will adjust that in just a minute, but we want to go down here and make sure everything is turned off. And as you can see on the computer, it jumped up to 1433. Now let's go ahead and crank up the brightness in movie mode. And in movie mode, we're getting up to 3823, and it's going to fluctuate, but that's the peak brightness that we're getting in that particular settings while the TV is in SDR mode. Another thing I want to test while I'm in here, I'm going to go to Vivid. And in Vivid mode, it's jumping up to 45, so it's going to fluctuate there, but it did get up to 45 lumens. Now I want to go ahead and stop this test and go back into the meter, and we're going to turn on HDR10. In Vivid at 100%, we're getting around 3662. And if I go back down to filmmakers mode, it drops down around 1949. And if we go to movie mode at 100% brightness, we're going around 3691. And the last test I want to do is check out Dolby Vision. So I'll try some of these different ones. This is Dolby Vision brightness. Now think about these TV settings. Keep in mind they will fluctuate because the TV will adjust itself, but I have seen it go over 5,000 nits of peak brightness. And that's what you can get on Dolby Vision Bright. But if you watch the meter here on the screen, you can see that it will fluctuate and it's adjusting itself. And to be transparent with you guys, I'm using this Portrait G1, and this is a pattern generator. And I'm using this Display Plus HL to pick out the colors. And I got to talking to somebody who does calibration, and you can get into 20, 30,000 to get the right equipment, or you need a laboratory to be able to test it to get the true numbers. With that being said, let's do a few more tests. Let's start off with stretched out 480p, and in my opinion, this TV is doing a phenomenal job even on this low resolution signal. And if we switch over to 720p, the image gets just a slight sharper than it did on the 480p. Now the sweet spot on most televisions is 1080p, and this is everyday content that you would see watching regular TV on an average basis. But if you want to get the best picture, you want to use sources like Blu-ray players as well as high quality streaming services. And I do understand that a lot of people don't want to pay for content, but unfortunately that's the world we live in now. If you don't pay for Blu-ray media or a good streaming service, you're just not going to get the best picture out of most products these days. So if you're having a grainy picture, chances are you're using a low resolution signal like IPTV, or even plugging a DVD player into some of these televisions. It will allow you to watch the older content, but it's not going to give you the best signal. Now when testing this TV out to see if it had any type of dirty screen effects, I thought it was accurate overall, but as I got into some of the blacker scenes, I did notice just a slight little blotchiness more in the center of the television, but no LED panel is going to give you a perfect signal because you're spreading light all the way across the television, and to keep it 100% uniformed is nearly impossible. But the X11L does a pretty good job. Unless you can tell me otherwise, I think it would pass this test with flying colors. So there's a thing called blooming where you're watching credits at the end of a movie and all the white on the black background seems to glow. Well, TCL invented a technology called halo control years ago, and I can say that this television does a phenomenal job keeping the black levels very dark, at the same time giving you those dynamic and specular highlights without compromising the details in the image. This is part of the new panel lineup, and it has a WHVA panel. So when it comes to viewing angles, I would say that this TV does a great job. So what I want to do is just kind of put the camera right there in the center of the TV to give you an idea how it looks. And I slowly move to the side. And one thing I noticed is that the viewing angles are fantastic compared to most vertical alignment panels, but not as good as IPS. But overall, you get very limited coloration whenever you get to the size of the TV. So this will be ideal for people putting it anywhere in the room where it's located high or low. So we talked about the picture quality on this video, but there's a few last things I want to mention. And let's talk about some of the advanced features that this TV has to offer. The remote control that comes with this TV looks like your standard TCL remote control with the hotkeys at the bottom. It also supports the Google Gemini operating system. But here's one cool feature. If you look at TV behind me, now we have a brightness control right there on the TV. You see it back there? And we have a picture profile right here on the side of it, which is really cool and convenient to get to the settings. It also has heavy duty feet on it, so it keeps the TV very stable to your table. And it has a borderless design, so the TV looks like it doesn't even have a frame on it from the front view. On the back of it, you're going to find 4 HDMI 2.1s that all support up to 144 Hertz. It has the ATSC 3.0 TV tuner for over-the-air next-gen content. It also has a more advanced B&O sound system that includes front-firing speakers, rear-firing speakers for surround sound, and 4 subwoofers on the back of it. And I want to show you some of the sound settings so you can get an idea of what kind of controls you have. But here's the thing, this TV was designed to work with the new Z100 speaker system to give you a Dolby Atmos surround sound, and maybe one day I'll have some here in the studio to be able to demo them for you guys. One thing I do really like about this TV is all the settings you get for audio. As you can see, you have plenty of settings. But one thing you can do, if you go down to custom, you have a surround sound enhancement, and you can control the level of the volume for those annoying commercials. Now the BO Sonic is pretty cool because you can actually go in here and change this around to give you different sound effects so you can get the most pleasant sound to your ears, or you can just keep it in the center at default. There's also a built-in EQ and loudness control, so you can control your bass, your treble, the center speaker, which is a new add-on, and the surround sound speakers that are actually built into the back of the cabinet to create this Atmos virtual surround sound.
This is a Tech Steve dialogue test to check the clarity of this TV built-in speaker system. I recommend an audio system for movies, but if you're wondering how it sounds with music, let's test them now.
So what's my final thoughts about the X11L? I think it's one of the best TVs I've ever reviewed. I think it's going to be a great television for people who are in that price bracket. And you know, the prices will come down. Right now, this one is selling for $8,000. So, you know, you might be able to get to $5,000 over the next 6 months to a year, but who knows? I don't really predict that. But with that being said, the contrast fantastic. The colors are fantastic. It has some of the most advanced gaming setups that I've ever seen after playing it. I was able to get 144 Hertz out of it at 4K, no problem. And I will say that this TV is really well thought out, and TCL is definitely in the right direction of maybe taking out the #1 TV provider in the world, but who knows? I think they still have this nostalgia about, you know, some of their lower end stuff that started off in the Walmarts and the Sound Clubs. Not saying anything bad about those models, but this is a whole different level. And the fact that they're working with Sony in the near future, if that all goes through, I would say that, man, take them very serious if you're looking for the higher end models. With that being said, just so you guys know, I did make a unboxing video on this television, and I also made a video showing you guys all the gaming settings and things like that. So go check that out right after this video. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. If you like these demos that I'm playing, make sure you go check out Tech Steve Testing on YouTube.